78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. It's wonderful to be back in the air. This is my first show of the new year. Just getting back to Okinawa. Happy New Year. I'm really excited to be back. So much has happened since the last time that I've been on this station. So much. Where do I start? In case you missed it, last quarter before I rolled out, I was featured for rescuing someone from a really severe car accident that was stuck in their car. That was one of those surreal situations where I was like, wow, that just happened. We're trained and taught to care for others, to look after others. We fight for others. We're here. The whole sole purpose of us being here is to take care of our community. And so to be able to do that firsthand was amazing, a surreal experience, and I'm just glad I was in the right place at the right time. Immediately following that, we had some really awesome things going on at our center. I got a chance to go back to the U.S., which is where I've been, to do some amazing teaching with some of I call them the next generation. I got a chance to go to some high schools, middle schools, and most rewardingly, not to say there's a comparison, but most rewardingly, some juvenile detention facilities while I was there in the United States. So when I say that, and I say rewarding, I mean those opportunities don't happen all the time, right? Those are some of those things that we're grateful for, those opportunities when they come. We never know when they are going to come, but we always want to walk through the door when they present themselves. So much has happened. Let me see what else. We just allowed myself to be a part of the professional development team for Headquarters Air Force, teamed with the Air Education Training Command. Got a chance to put some amazing things together for the career that I do, the team that I'm a part of, to educate, encourage, and inspire throughout the force, air, and space. So that was a wonderful opportunity to get other people certified, upgraded, right, to be a part of that team, that thought tank. A lot of traveling, I guess you could say I had to take a step back before I could take a step forward. I know I'm missing a lot of things that happened over the past year, over the past few weeks since the last time I've been on the air. I didn't write this stuff down. I never come in here with a written down plan and script. So I'm just trying to go off the dome. But I've been traveling a lot. I guess that's the biggest takeaway for me is I know I've been moving a lot. And my body and my mind told me yesterday, and a reminder of something I told you guys a few years back, one of my favorite quotes of that year, I believe it was 2024 or 2023. And what I would say to you was, I know you can move, but can you be still? And when I said that to myself last night, or it's been kind of echoing throughout the week, but I really locked in last night. I kind of blocked out the noise. I've had to isolate some people, some things, just to kind of reset and refocus. It's crazy when other people's pressures become yours. It's crazy when other people's stories kind of pull you away from your vision, your journey, or what's in front of you. And you can't really see clearly after a while because there's so much happening and it's hard to reset. It's hard to focus. It's hard to lock in. So I did that last night. I told myself, I said, you know what? I haven't been consistent this year. My timing, my travel, my missions, all the goals that I set out to do have kind of kept me away from me. I know you can move, Winsome, but can you be still? Taking care of others, building for others, planning for other people. It's time to kind of take a step back and start doing the same thing for yourself. Your goals, your visions, your moves, what's next, your next chapter, your next journey. It's time. And it's one of those moments where you have to give yourself grace. Just like, okay, you know what? No excuses. no excuses, no turning back. I need to lock in. So I started this morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm on email. I'm going to the gym after that. I'm washing clothes. I'm moving. I'm like, I can start doing what I used to do. I can get so much done before everybody else even wakes up. And I know change starts with you. If you really want change, then you change. And so that's what my mindset is today, coming back and jet lag shaking off, locked in vision, realizing what I want to do next, and being able to tell stories again. I miss this. Think about it. All the goals that I had for this new year, right? I wanted to start the first week of the year with my podcast and YouTube channel, and I'm in the U.S. I'm teaching, I'm coaching, I'm facilitating, I'm taking care of people. I'm encouraging the next generation of us. And I'm not out there just telling them to be great, aim high. No, I'm telling them 100% be better than us. And I know it caught a lot of people off guard when I said that, but I'm going to tell you, you can turn on the news any day and realize that we can do better. Not just in certain aspects of life, but as human beings, we can do better. And I told them that. That's opened up an opportunity for me to potentially this summer be speaking at my old high school graduation ceremony. I'm excited about that. Get to go back and talk to some kids. I still remember it. I don't know if you guys do, but I still remember that day of graduation where I kind of feel like I was in someone else's movie. Like what's happening right now isn't really happening, like pinch me. I was so excited to be done with school, but I was so uneasy about what was going to happen after that. You go all the way back to 1997 for me. I know someone's listening like, dang, yeah, 1997. And I wanted to be great. I wanted to change lives. Think about it. Somebody who role models and people hung up on my wall were Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Tupac, people who changed the world, changed minds, changed hearts, fought for something, believed in something, wanted to be great. Not just for them, but for others to see it's possible to change what's going on around you. You don't have to just settle. And what did I land on? I landed on a 28-year career taking care of other people's kids, which I love. Every person I've had the opportunity to work with, be supervisor of, work for, and work next to, right? I've loved every moment. But there's more. I'm at that window now, and if you're with me, you know what it's like when you know you still got more in the tank. Even if one chapter or one story is ending, you already have your hand on the next book, the pen in your hand, page open, and your hand is just tense because you know you want to write something fire. How do you top that? How do you top being featured in the paper and being all over the internet and having such great things happening and being a part of all these great stories over? How do you top that? Again, that's the pressure I was putting on myself because I wanted to make a difference. And I said, go back to basics. When you come back to the radio show today, go back to basics. Remember your why. Take your ego out of it. Have fun again. So that pen, it's not so tense in your hand. Your hand's not clutching so hard and not holding on to the pen so hard. Relax. Breathe, Winsome. Because when you're trying to sort out all these thoughts at one time, you're not going to be able to sort out one. And that's what I did. Today I got a hotel here in Yomitan so I can get away from everything I'm familiar with. I want to get away. What they call it? Disconnect to reconnect. I have a book that I want finished by next month. I have a website that I still owe stuff to my buddy Robbie and Mike to get that going. I got a podcast I need to launch. I got edits from here that I want to put together. If you really want change, then change. If you really truly want things to change, then you have to change. And those are the things that I really wanted to launch this morning. I'm really motivated and energized to do it. I know that I can. I believe in myself. And I tell you, if you're listening to me right now, if you happen to have your radio on, you're watching on YouTube, I'm living by what I teach. I am, I can, and I will. 78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. I'm sending this out to all of my teammates. I haven't forgot about the gratitude segment. I'm jumping back in from the new year. I haven't been here in a minute, so I have to bring that different kind of, hey, welcome back. This is what I've missed. This is what you've missed. This is what's been going on in the background. I've been gone. I've been overseas, back in the U.S., back and forth. While I was there, I was still taking care of things here on the island and at my center with my team. I've been blessed with some wonderful new team members. Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Marcella. I have an amazing team that is doing some crazy stuff for the people on this island. I can't tell you how powerful this team is. And I'm always lucky. And I tell Derek I'm lucky and I'm blessed, but he says, no, we hire well, right? We joke like that, but we actually really have another round of amazing teammates that I think we're going to make a significant impact on my way out the next couple of months. And I want them to be legacy, right? I don't want it to be where I walk out the door and things kind of go to a slow. No, they're already moving to a point where I know when I leave, this base, this community, and our programs are in great hands. So now it's who's going to take my seat. Doo, doo, doo. What is happening? 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. I had a great opportunity this past week to teach emotional intelligence. We talked about critical conversations. We talked about effective feedbacks with the 733rd AMS. Shout out to that squadron on Kadena Air Base, invited me out. We tested out some new material. I will tell you, we tested out Lead X material, and I would say I love it, and I love the fact that I have autonomy to make this material my own for our community. So if you guys haven't checked it out, Lead X has recently launched or relaunched for our development community and professional development. And we're doing some really cool stuff together right now. And on Monday, we're advertising to all the DAs the opportunities we have to learn how to be better facilitators, to learn what emotional intelligence really is. The new book, The New Emotional Intelligence, that was launched by Dr. Travis Bradbury last year. Sharing that with the communities. The material in there is awesome. Building classes from that material. You name it. This year is going to be a busy year, and we're just getting started. I can be excited about that now because last week I was putting all this together for the Department of the Air Force team and the Headquarters Air Force, should I say, and the Air Education Training Command. We're all in this room. I'm part of this working group, and we're thinking through different companies that could really help us propel to the next level of development and make us or get us on the best footing. And we landed on Lead X. It wasn't nothing I had to force. It was like, wow, they're willing to actually build with us and not force us to use their material and kind of be stuck in those borders of you got to do this, right? Or those limitations. So I'm excited to grow with them. We also got a new partnership collaboration with Flatter Leadership Academy. We were doing this in our region last year. It was local. We had a group of coaches who I can't wait now that I'm back to reconnect with. I'm so sorry. I love you guys. I've been gone. We had a great end to last year, and we were supposed to start off hot, and then I'm gone, right? I disappeared, MIA. But I'm back on the radio and back to you guys. You guys will hear from me either tomorrow or Monday, more than likely Monday, like everybody else, so I can take this weekend and reset. But I'm really excited that Flatter has agreed to allow us to offer cohorts to more people, creating more coaches, building our community, making it stronger and larger. And so I can't wait to see what that looks like for 2026. A lot of this is tests. A lot of this is let's see what happens. But I'm just excited to be a part of it. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what goes on next, man. 78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. I'm excited to be back in the booth, and we'll be right back after this break. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. I'm still learning how this equipment works, right? It's what happens when you're away too long. You come back and everything's new, but it's not. It's the stuff you've been working with. Just feels new. New energy. I have been excited about possibilities. Gratitude segment. Shout out to, of course, Lead X, Flatter Leadership Academy, the Talent Smart team for supporting last year. You guys are amazing. We got the Trainers Warehouse. Almost forgot. Forgive me. Free Period Press. Every high school, every middle school, every juvenile detention facility that I've visited, I take these teams with me. I don't walk in by myself. I don't walk in with some influencer mindset. I walk in as an encourager. I walk in with the goal of uplifting, changing hearts, opening minds, making people realize that there's a lot more to this world than just the seats you're in and just the space that you're in. And I remember feeling like that when I was in high school. I just wanted to see more. I knew that the world was so much bigger. I knew there was more than Barstow, California. I just knew. I would sneak out, and I think I've told this story before. My mom would think I was sneaking out to go see girls and whatever back then. There were many a nights that I would sneak out of my house, climb out my window because I knew it was too late. My mom would let me outside. And I would just walk up and down the street staring at the stars. For a long time, I knew it was outside of my grasp because I didn't take care of my math in high school, but I wanted to be an astronaut. I just wanted to see what was out there, the possibilities, the things that we don't see every day, the mysteries, just answers to all those questions. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to experience it. And then you get overseas when you start traveling and you see the world and you go to places like the United Kingdom or Europe and Japan, and you really start seeing things. I've been to so many places. Some places I can't talk about because they're bases that we're not supposed to tell you, but there's so many places that I've seen that I'm like, wow. Greenland, wow. I remember seeing Iceland just on the whim. I wanted to go to Iceland, and it wasn't too far from a location I was at. That was an amazing experience. So many different things that I would have never seen if I settled in life. So why would I not share that journey and try to inspire someone else if they're settling to get out of their comfort zone, to aim high, to fight, and to be great? Especially if you can reach them at that age, at that high school where they have these decisions, these opportunities, all these doors they haven't even seen yet, all these opportunities and options and relationships they're still forming, they're still finding themselves, they're still developing, they're still trying to figure out who they are. Cool. Well, let me show you what you can do. Now, I'm going with the We Are All Recruiters program, right? It's the Air Force program. I can go out there, but the goal and the focus behind it is to show these young people you can be more than this. You can be great. And I'm not going to schools where they have a big military presence already at the school, so everybody's parents military, like here. In Okinawa, if I go on base talking, guess what? Everybody's mom and dad's probably a sergeant or a colonel. But when I go to these communities that don't know what it looks like, I'm not trying to get you to join the Air Force. I'm trying to get you to know it's an option. I'm trying to teach you that when we say aim high, we mean not just in the military. We mean aiming high in life. Fight for greatness. Strive for the whatever someone says is a limit, break that limit. Believe in your mind and in your heart that you are limitless. And when we can do that, when we share that, when we encourage others to believe that, for me, I feel like I've done my job. When you got that one or two people that want to hit you up after and be like, can you tell me more? When I went to the juvenile detention facility, and I'll share that story. This is a trip that I try to make every year. And I remember walking in, this is the new security guard, and we talked at the gate, and she let me film my walk up to the door. If you guys have seen the video, if not, it'll be on the website, of course, but I remember walking up to the door, and I had to pause halfway and just breathe, like, whew. Because on the other side of that door, you don't know what you're going to get. On the other side of that door, you know what the energy's like. You don't know their experiences, their stories, their pain. You just know that there's folks on the other side of this door that need you. There's kids, because they're young adults, kids, on the other side of this door that just made some bad choices. So if you can encourage one of them that the chair they're sitting in does not have to be the chair they rot in, then do it. If you can share your story and get a smile out of these kids, then do it. I love the questions. I love their questions. It was cute. You know, they were asking about the comparisons between what we do and what they see in the movies, where I've been in the world. And I start showing pictures about the different places all over the world, you know, and the stories that happen. Like I love sharing a story about Greenland where the sun goes down for 3 months and doesn't come back up. And they're like, whoa. Yeah, it's a true story. It's not like Alaska where you get a little dim light. No, it's dark. We celebrate the day the sun comes back up. And I remember telling them these stories, and then they want to talk about, you know, all kind of stuff and ask me, you know, how I survived what I did. And I told them, I said, when you look up, if you can look up, you can get up. But if you lay where you're at, you refuse to fight, you'll just stay there. And I chose to climb, fight, scratch, pull, yank, whatever I needed to do to get out of that seat because I hated how it felt. And if you don't know my story, at 16, 17 years old, 15, 16, excuse me, I was in their chair. My record's been expunged is what they'll call it, but if you go back and look, you'll notice that I was a little knucklehead for a little window of my life. And I had to fight. I had to fight back. Because I fell into the trap of this is what's going on around me, so let me be a part of that shenanigans too. And once I woke up and realized, yo, this doesn't look, feel, smell, sound right at all. This isn't a chapter or the story I want for myself. When I woke up and realized that, I changed. My story is, I remember waking up in a center. Can't go talk to my mom, can't go talk to my brother, can't go outside. There's no freedom. There's nothing I can do for myself. And I remember telling myself, no, I do not like this. And I remember thinking to myself, I know that if I don't want to end up here either A, long term or in a place like this, there are things I need to change. And at 15, 16 years old, you start really, when you're reflecting, because, you know, at that age, you're go, go, go. You don't really reflect and think back and realize that you can do things different in your life, right? And that's when I realized, yo, it's time. I've been given all these opportunities, blessings, and doors that were given to me. I was literally in what they call the AVID program, Advanced Via Individual Determination, or Advancement Via Individual Determination program. I was college bound. I was supposed to be doing great things, but I wanted to be cool. I want to hang out with the cool kids. I wanted everybody to know who I was. That was probably the worst detriment of my high school career ever. It was a year of ineligibility, a year in juvie, or not a whole year in juvie, but time with juvie detention. Had a record for a minute. I had to do community service. I couldn't play football. I couldn't run track. And for me, if you know me, a social butterfly, those are all like, that's like somebody shackling me down. Like I was tied down. I couldn't do what I loved. And I remember hating myself for a minute because there wasn't a thing where nobody taught me to give myself grace or give yourself grace. That wasn't a story you heard in my household or in my surroundings. I just hated it. I didn't like the way it felt, and I refused to feel like that anymore. So I flipped the switch. It's one of those stories like they tell you it's kind of, I'm proud of. When I got back to school, I was working harder. It's kind of like Scared Straight, right? I was working harder in class. I realized the reality I wanted for myself. I started avoiding certain people. On top of avoiding certain people, I started doing things during my community service that served well to me as a human being and as a person. My community service was cleaning a community center. I remember seeing a flyer, track coaches wanted. And I remember I've been running track since middle school. Middle school I went to was Kennedy Middle School. Coach Doug Lang. And I remember seeing this flyer Coach Lang put out there talking about looking for coaches. He was one of the track coaches, but he couldn't do it by himself. Me personally, I think something was wrong with Coach Lang because he didn't look too good last time I saw him at the time. So I went over and talked to Coach Lang. I remember I'm a high school, I want to say junior when I saw this. About to be a junior, I was a sophomore, excuse me. High school sophomore. And I saw Coach Lang. I said, Coach, I'm doing community service, but I want to help. If I help with your track team, can you sign off that I'm giving hours back to the community? That was an original intent. He was like, yeah, I love it. You know, we both win. Shook hands because he knew me. He knew my character. He knew my heart. He knew that I was just some shenanigans I was involved with. And it was kind of like one of those things. He knew there was more in me. Had two coaches back then like that, Coach Duarte and Coach Lang. And so I was like, okay, cool. So now I'm going after school coaching the middle school kids as a high school kid. And the coolest thing about that was that team was awesome. All the things that I had learned, and let me tell you, I brought back students, fellow students, a lot of them scholars, and went on to do some great things in college. But I brought back our best hurdler to teach hurdles. I brought back our best sprinters, male and female, to teach coach sprinting. I brought back our best long distance runners to work with the long distance run because I can't do that. I brought back, whoever I could. Long jumpers, I was helping with the low hurdles and the high hurdles because my tiny self was a hurdler. By the time my classmates finished mentoring, coaching, and encouraging this school, we had an undefeated season. I'll never forget that. And I learned so much from that experience that I use now in the Air Force. I learned I may not know all the answers. I may not be the best at these things, how to network and outsource to get that, to take care of my team. I learned how individuals can be great, but when they're on a team, they can shine bright, the whole team. And I'll tell you more after this break. .6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. I'm checking everything out, making sure that I'm good in the studio. It's been a minute. I missed you guys, man. I've literally been learning a lot on this journey. Taking care of people, taking care of missions, taking care of other people's growth. It's a responsibility that I love, a responsibility that I adore, and something that I would do for free if I didn't have a family to take care of, right? And a little spoiled dog. But I say all that to say this, man. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than right here with you on the Saturday morning as I am myself disconnecting to reconnect this weekend. So as I was saying, high school was an amazing thing. I learned so much from coaching the younger kids. I was so prideful. I was so proud of them and what they accomplished. And I know throughout the years, they'll probably never forget the old coach, the coach from the school that came back to show them some love. And it started on a selfish mission. I just wanted to get my hours signed off. And it turned into something amazing, not just a story I'll never forget, an opportunity I'll never take as anything other than a blessing, and a story that I love telling. And after that, I can tell you, you guys know the rest, right? Junior year, I was back on the football field. I was back on the track team. Senior year, same, back on the football field, back on the track team, and showing out in the classroom and having a great time. I even did drama my senior year. The craziest thing was I love drama. I want to say it was Miss Billsboro, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to make sure to have the wrong person getting called out. But my teacher in high school, it was my CIF final senior year. And I knew the same night that I had this football game that we had a play that our school was putting on. And throughout the whole, I guess, month, I had been back and forth as the lead in this play. And I had to make a decision a few weeks out, and I had told the teacher, I was like, hey, I can't do both. That was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do and hardest decisions I've ever had to make, because I knew I couldn't do both, and it hurt me that I couldn't do both. And to tell her and look her in the eyes and see how hurt she was. And I said, ma'am, this is a big football game for me, and this is my team. And I remember walking into my house that night to find out that this teacher had called my mom. And she said, please ask Winsome to reconsider. And she said, there's something in him that's special. He really needs to try to be on the stage tonight. So, big football game. Now, granted, I'm not even a starter. I'm not even going to flex and act like I was starting in this game. I just was excited about the game itself. I love football. I love being on the field. And I had been learning more and more about football over my high school experience that, I didn't really know when I was in middle school and younger. So this is exciting to me. And to be back on the field was kind of like winning after what I experienced my freshman, sophomore year. So this final game was important to me. My mom asked me, she looks me in the eyes, and she said, what do you want to do? Miss Billsboro called, if that's the teacher. Don't forgive me if it's not. I'm sorry, drama teacher. And I said, Mom, I want to play. She said, all right. You want me to call the teacher back, or you going to do it? Well, she called you, right? This is what I told my mom. She called you. She didn't tell me. I already told her I wasn't playing. So I grabbed my gear, get my little Gatorade, get my socks and my everything, and head back to the school for the game. I don't regret my choice, but I wish that I had the capacity to do both. It would have been amazing to be able to either walk from the play to the football field or walk from the football field to the play, but that wasn't how things shook out. Anyway, I share these stories because it's not where you are. It's not how you start. It's how you finish. My freshman year, sophomore year was a rough start. But how I finished was something legendary, not just for my own personal story, but stories that I can now share and be a part of with other people and connect the dots when I see people. And it's important to have those, right? We don't get a chance to write all these in books all the time. We don't have a chance to tell these stories beyond certain communities, and not everybody cares. But when you're an encourager, like I was at this juvenile detention facility, and you're telling stories like that to where, hey, I was where you're sitting. I've been in your chair, and I've taken control of my life, and I've fought back, and you can too. And when you tell someone that and they see you living that life truthfully, they believe you, and they want that for themselves. And you've earned someone's respect and trust, and it's crazy how that plays out with the time that I have with them, but it's every time that I visited the center, that has been the story. And I'm so grateful for these opportunities to be a part of these guys' lives. And even the schools, if you see the videos, you see I was so happy. It just feels like you're in your element. I'm not sitting up there for hours as a teacher. I'm not sitting there as security, the hallway guard checking attendance. No, I'm literally having opportunities to walk into these places, encourage, and leave. And hopefully leave a lasting impression, something that they can remember. Even if they remember just one small piece, they walk away and they can apply it to their lives and to their stories and be better for it. He could do it. So can I. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. That was just a little snapshot, man. Before I left, I got to see a couple more lighthouses. And some people don't know the significance. So let me go back to tell you this story again. Winsome, why are you so infatuated with lighthouses? Well, what does a lighthouse do? Think about this. A lighthouse is helping navigate ships that may be lost, may be going in the wrong direction, that need to be navigated and helped, guided to the right place. For me, that's so powerful. To me, that embodies what I've been able to try to do for the past few years as a leader, as a friend, as a brother, cousin, dad, whatever you call it. Every role I have, I try to help navigate someone to where they're trying to go. And if they're going in the wrong place, the wrong direction, the wrong way, I try to guide them into the right direction. That ties into why it was so important to me to finish and get my ACC, to be a coach, to have those, to put some true oomph behind that title. I don't want to just say I'm Coach Winsome. No, I'm Coach Winsome, and it's real. It's certified. I'm in the game, and I'm not playing. I'm taking this seriously. I did the time. I did the work. I did the hours. I did the trainings. So when I'm building this for other people, that's exactly why, because I realize how powerful it is, how important it is. And I see when we help change lives, that glitter of hope in people's eyes after a session, that spark that people come and hit when they want to do something great. I love to see it. I saw this, we went to two different ones. I went to 2 lighthouses in Mie, and I went to one lighthouse, which was in Miyazaki. So 3 lighthouses on one trip. It was really cool. I think I'm missing one of them in my office. Anyway, I try to get the little glass reminders every time, it's like a little trinket. You guys collect coffee cups. I collect the little laser printed glass squares from these lighthouses. It's a reminder that I was there. So to be able to be a beacon of light to others, to be able to help guide, navigate people in the direction they're trying to go, or if someone is lost, to help them get back to where they need to be. That is the footing. That is the goal. That is the logic behind why I am so infatuated with lighthouses, why my logo is a lighthouse, why my classrooms, my team, we have locked in visions. We have a shared vision of who we are, and that is who we chose to be for others, to educate, encourage, and inspire. So there are 16 lighthouses in Japan that you can actually walk into and climb up and see. You can travel to some of these places. Some of them are hard to get to. I will tell you, I want to say it was probably the Miyazaki, that trip from the airport was a trek. That was probably about a 2.5, 3 hour ride from where I landed to get to this place, and it's not easy. And there's a road getting to this lighthouse. It's just a winding, moving road. You don't know what's going to come around that corner. And I was talking to, of course, our family here at the Zampa Lighthouse, Miss Rika-san, excuse me. And Miss Rika-san said, there's some lighthouses that are hard to get to because of weather, distance. And it excited me because I was like, that's part of the journey. And if I can get to all 16 or darn near all 16, that's an accomplishment. That's 16 different stories. The Miyazaki, when you get there, there's a a trail when you get past the entrance or the opening where you get your ticket to go into the area. It's nothing but horses. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's like they let the horses go free here. It's like horses as far as the eye can see. There's horses all over the place. But you know, with horses comes horse poop, right? So there's horses and horse poop droppings all over the place. But it's beautiful because they allow the animals to be free. And this is leading to the trail that you drive up to get to the lighthouse. You stop seeing the horses after a few minutes on this trek, but that was an amazing experience in itself. And there's a little cafe on the way that you can get out and stop at. And I stopped there. I took some pictures, took in the sun. It was an amazing experience. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't raining. It was the perfect day. And so I went from Miyazaki and I flew into Mie. And those two lighthouses were also two completely different experiences, and they were about 5-10 minutes away from each other, maybe 15. And I remember just thinking to myself how blessed I am to have these stories, how blessed I am to be able to be here, to see the sights that I've seen, to see the views, to see the different waters, the shores, the way the water ran and rams up against the rocks, and to be at peace. I need some of that this weekend because I've been moving. And like I tell you, I know I can move. But this weekend I need to be still. So if you're someone who's a part of my life and I've kind of stepped away for a minute from those stories, forgive me. I need time. I need to reset. It's too much. There's some people that demand stuff from you, that want stuff from you, but they're not really considering your story. They're focused on theirs. I can't do that right now. I got to focus on mine. It's too much. And I guess it's, I tell people a lot, and there's nothing wrong with being selfish, right? You don't owe anybody anything but yourself, and I got to give myself grace on that. But I also know when it's time to take a step back, to take a step forward, to make sure that the path that I'm walking in is the right path. And I know self-care is not selfish. And I know that I have to give myself grace. So I take that with me today, and I encourage you to think about these things when you're on your journey and how you take care of yourself, because it's very important to take care of yourself as well. You are your own best friend, and you can also be your own worst enemy. You choose. I choose to be my own best friend this weekend. I choose to take my time and my life back this weekend. I choose to reset. I choose to start over. I choose to take a step back. I choose to make the changes that I need to make and to be able to see the things I need to see and to move in the path that I choose for myself. I'll be right back. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsome. Yo, so sharing the story, man. I came back, been nonstop, featured in the American Forces Network for my team's foundations. My team has been doing amazing stuff, man. I'm so proud of those guys taking over the programs that we have and what's in front of us and for the things that we plan to build for this year. Rescuing that young man that was trapped in his car after the nasty car accident, getting a chance to go to the high schools and juvenile detention facilities and teach, educate, encourage, and inspire our next generation of us to be better than us. Traveling to Miyazaki and Mie and seeing the lighthouses, going back and forth from the U.S., being a part of that team that was able to put this stuff together for our whole career field, for development, for the next foreseeable future. Hopefully these partnerships work out. All of this, it's time for me to do something for me. It's time for me this weekend just to pause and just kind of really reflect. Because as I tell you, it sounds like, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been nonstop. It's kept me out of the booth. Weekends that I've been away, and I've missed this. I miss being able to speak life into people and to share my stories in this community. So much has changed. Even when I look outside of this area where I'm at right now, next to the library here in Yomitan, so much has changed. It's so amazing and beautiful to see the growth and the changes, not just in the buildings and the things that the people are doing, but just the growth in general. And I want to be a part of it. I really want to take this next couple of months and really kind of internalize all of this and make it a part of my routine, the true discipline and behind it to make it work, to make it really happen. So I'm excited to be back on the air. I know I haven't smiled as much. I've been in thought a lot, right? So usually I'm cheesing, positive vibes, smiling, but I've been in thought a lot about this. This has been things that I didn't have a plan going in. I just really wanted to share where I've been, what I've been doing, why I've been out of the booth, why you haven't seen my bald head on the radio on Saturdays. But I'm excited to be back in Okinawa. I'm excited to be back in Yomitan Village. Today I'm going to Zampa, Gala. I'm going to stay at the hotel, one of the hotels there, and just let it all go. I'm going to open my laptop, get in this book that I've been promising everybody that everyone's asking. I'm seeing a lot of people drop books, seeing people drop a lot of things, a lot of stories, and sharing a lot. And it's time, man. On the way out, I want to make sure that I give back as well. And so really excited to really, truly dedicate time this weekend to that. And I know some people are like, you could be doing all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm in Okinawa. It's beautiful weather. The water's gorgeous today. It's even though it starts off a little chill in the daytime, the sun comes out, and it's perfect weather here right now. The best time to be here on the island. And I'm just going to really take it all in a space that's not my own. And so I can disconnect to reconnect. So I challenge you, if you haven't done that, if you haven't thought about it this year, you've just been on a go, 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 but you haven't been able to pause, to stop, and just check out what's going on in your life. You may need to reset, disconnect to reconnect, reset, stop. There's nothing wrong with pausing. There's nothing wrong with taking a second to breathe, right? I know you can move, but can you be still? Another thing that passed while I was gone was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Come on, man. I know it's been downplayed in a lot of places. Not a lot of people talked about it, and I hated I wasn't on the air for it, but I will tell you that I still live by this. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. And when I say that, that means whatever's going on in your life, if you can't run through it, that's okay. Slow down, walk through it. There's something going on in your life where it's kind of hard to or run through it. If you can't run through it, slow it down and just see how you navigate it. Take your time. Make sure you know what direction you want to go in and fight for that direction. You're not always going to be able to fly. You're not always going to be able to run through it. You might have to walk. You might have to crawl through it. But you know what? If you have a vision, if you're locked in, you have a finish line that you want for yourself. You have a story that you're trying to tell. You have something that you are trying to achieve. then fight for that. Shoot for that. Lock in that vision with yourself. Those people that you trust, that love you and want you to do good things, make sure that they share that vision with you so they can hold you accountable. One of the things I want to talk about are accountability buddies. Those people that you know, hey, I'm trying to get to this finish line. Push me when I stop. And then they tell you, hey, man, it's time for you to get a water break. Don't stop moving, but you need to take a break. You need to breathe. Hey, man, your steps don't look like they're going forward. You're going a little left. What are you going to do to correct your angle? What are you doing? You said you're trying to go A. Why are you in B? Those people are important right now in 2026. Who are they? Who is that person in your life? We say all that. We talk about all these things, but sometimes we don't really pay attention until it's too late to who those people could be in your corner, pushing you to achieve your goals, your dreams, the vision that you're trying to lock into, and the things you're trying to accomplish. 78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. Oh, man, it's good to be back. So I need to learn this equipment again. I got my friends here. They're going to teach me how to do this again. I haven't been here in a while. I can't wait to get back next weekend. Then we got Valentine's Day weekend, right? That's coming up, and my birthday is around that same time. So a lot of great things in February. I'm excited about that. We got class next week, so it's going to be a busy week for me. And then the following week is another week of class. So I'm really happy to take this weekend back, take my power back, take my energy back, redirect, disconnect to reconnect. What's your challenge? This is the do-out I have for you. What was your vision that you had when you were in December of 2025? What did you see for yourself in 2026? Who was it that you wanted to be? What was it that you were trying to accomplish? Are you settling? Are you locked in? Are you fighting for that vision that you have for yourself, or are you just kind of moving aimless with each day that goes by? Because if you're aimlessly rolling into those days, then you're not moving into those days intentionally. And once you wake up and you react to your days with intention, when you move with intention, when you respond with intention, when you navigate your day with intention, it ends completely different than it could have if you rolled into it aimlessly. So I challenge you, in what areas are you settling, to look at those right now and start fighting back. Don't wait until that 6-month look back, 6-month review to realize you could have started now, because it's not too late. It's not how you start. It's how you finish. It's not what you have. It's what you do with what you have. There are people that do so much with less, and people that fail and refuse to move with more. What person are you? What drives you? What motivates you? What inspires you? Who is it that you promised yourself you were going to be in 2026? Because that person is still there waiting for you to make them a reality. It's just you to step into those shoes that you need to be in to get there. I'm excited for you. I'm proud of you. I know it's been a while. I'm really excited to be back. There's nowhere else that I would rather be than right here with you on a Saturday morning. Many more to come, and I can't wait to spend time with you. Shout out again to all the folks that helped me get here to this chair, helped me with these lessons over the past few weeks, few months, and for the folks who opened the door. You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Can't wait to see you next week. Take care.